Welcome back, everyone, to the third episode of Tea Time with Meg. I'm so excited to have you here today. We're going to talk about movies and their magic and your creature comforts when you watch those movies. I'm going to be honest, this is my second time recording this episode. I got about halfway through on the other one, and I just decided I didn't like how it was running. So, you're getting a little more scripted this time, and I hope that you enjoy it. I'm going to be honest. Recording is hard, especially when you're not very good at it, but that's okay. Step out of that comfort zone and enjoy, and just do what you love. Talk to people. I've had a lot of support, and that's what's making me do this. So I hope that you enjoy, and welcome. So today, like I said, we're talking about movies. We're going to talk about our earliest memories of it, of a movie, and how the storyline just, reached out to us. We're going to talk about just what makes those unforgettable and our creature comforts and what we do and what we have. I'm sure you can see a little bit right here. Maybe. I don't know. It just depends. So, I'll show those too. I'm not going to show everything that's on this table, but I have some things I'm going to show you. I also want to say thank you to Wishmilk for reaching out and saying that he would like to see some special items in this episode, and I'm excited to share those with you. First thing, as you can see, I have my cooling blanket, I have my cooling body pillow, and I have a stuffy. This is a comfort thing for me when I watch shows and movies, so I thought I'd share those with you today, and a little bit about them, and why I like them. Our drink of choice today is going to be Werner's, so I will show you. It is a sugar-free, caffeine-free ginger soda. So good. And that's my go-to drink for today. I know it's not tea, but I've had enough tea today to sink a ship, so I don't need more caffeine. I have to work in the morning, so we're going to just leave it with that. Caffeine-free for now. But that's okay. You don't have to have tea every time. I know it's called Tea Time with Meg, but you don't have to have a tea. And I hope that's what you do. I hope you have a drink that you love, because that's what this is about. Drinking something you enjoy, chatting, and listening along. So, my earliest memory of a movie, there's been so many, I honestly had a really hard time choosing, but the first one that came to my mind was honestly Young Frankenstein with Gene Wilder and Marty Feldman. It was such a classic black and white comedic Halloween movie that my family goes back to every year, if not multiple times a year, for Halloween. It's such a classic movie, and the comedy was just gold in it. And I'm not gonna give away spoilers in case you haven't seen it, but the acting was phenomenal in it. I never thought I would enjoy a black and white movie that was, it looked gimmicky. I never thought I would enjoy it, and I did. When my parents showed me when I was a kid, I loved it. It was such a great movie. The next movie, obviously, and probably figured out, would be Harry Potter. That was the other movie that I totally enjoyed seeing every year. And as I've talked about in the last podcast, we read the book. All of them. The movie started coming out, and we went to every single one. At every single premiere at the theater, we were there. We were watching. We were engaged. We were happy. The visual effects alone was amazing. And that's kind of the way it was for Young Frankenstein, too. Honestly, the effects and the different things that they did in that movie, Young Frankenstein, obviously way different than what Harry Potter was. It's a different time. 2 different times. 2 different types of technology. And you can tell, which is amazing, because they did such an amazing job for each of those times starting out. it was amazing. The visual effects, the music, the characters, the memories that came along with that was just absolutely amazing. And I think that that's what holds those special memories for me. And that's why I thought of those two. And I know you're like, yeah, Harry Potter again, blah, blah, blah. But it was very special to me for so many reasons. And I will always be a Potterhead. I will always love Young Frankenstein. You know, it's one of those things where it brings a comfort and a happiness and just overall just immersion into a world that I don't have to think about for a while. I can watch and enjoy, know what's going to happen, and I can recite those movies no problem. Always. So, that's why I jump back to especially Harry Potter. You know, when it comes to Young Frankenstein and movies along those lines, you know, they will always be a joy because it's a tradition. Just like your Christmas movies, you know, Christmas Vacation, A Christmas Story, The Grinch, you know, those are our ones that we go back to every single year. It's because it's a tradition with family that brings you happiness and brings you all together and just, you know, makes you happy. And I think that no matter what, as long as you're okay and you're happy and you're spending time with the people that you love, that is the most important part. And I'm okay with that every single time. So, I digress with that. When it comes to just those all-time favorites, that is what I enjoy. Those are the ones I pick. When it comes to characters and music for Young Frankenstein, we'll just start with that one again. The characters, they all meshed and had great chemistry together, and I don't know what the word I want to use here. They just blended so well, and they delivered the lines very well, where the timing was just perfect, and there was a lot of improv in that show. So for them to be able to take that very random line that was not in the script and be able to just roll with it is amazing. I think that would be so hard to do because they could have been laughing so hard. I don't know how they got through some of that. So I think it's just with the characters, it's what worked. When it comes to music, the music was perfectly timed, and it added comedy to it because it was like, you know, you get you're super close in and zoom in with the line, and then they add the music to it, and it was just it worked so well. And visuals, it was in black and white, but the visuals around it didn't seem to make a difference whether you could see it in color or see it in person, because it was so well done, and I was so happy with that movie. Harry Potter, same thing. The characters all meshed well together, and they worked well together, and they delivered their lines really well. And for being kids, through, you know, growing throughout those movies and working with adults, they all did really, really well, and their acting was really, really well done. You know, I don't think at 11 years old I could have done what they would have done, remembering all these lines, and also, you know, they all went to school too. You know, so it's just one of those things where, you know, Young Frankenstein, you get all the adults. You don't have kids in that show. And then there's Harry Potter, where there's kids and different chemistries and different ages, and it all really well. And then the music and the visuals, it all just added to the magic behind it. Personal memories when it comes to Young Frankenstein, I think I remember just my mom and dad showing me that movie for the first time, and it felt magical to a point, even though there wasn't really magic to it, but it just felt it was just fun, and I was able to laugh, and we had snacks and drinks, and, we didn't have any lights on. It was just the glow of the TV and just seeing everybody smiling and laughing together, having a good time was so important. And I will always be grateful for that movie being shown to me by my parents for the first time. I think when it comes to Harry Potter, that is always going to be a go-to, because it just made us happy, it immersed us, and again, it saved me. So I will always be happy with that. And the memories of just going to the movie and reading the books, and obviously this is about the movie, so like going to the theater, having that popcorn, or that, my dad loved getting Milk Duds and a pop, and I would get popcorn and a pop with my mom. And you sit there with your buttery popcorn and your greasy fingers from that buttery popcorn, drinking your drink, and being immersed into that movie with the loudspeakers and the dimmed lights of the theater. It's just a special memory. I'd love to have those, have those memories of going, or reliving those memories again of those, going to those movies. A funny, not so funny story, during the second movie at the theater, my dad accidentally, my dad had somebody that's sitting behind him, and he accidentally choked on some popcorn and hit my dad in the back of the head with it. And we felt bad for the person, because who wants to choke on popcorn? That was not fun. But, later on we laughed about it, because it was like, well, yep, that was unexpected, but, there was no judgment from anybody. There was no anything like that, but it just made that experience a little bit funny. And, we always hope that, we never have that experience, but that's okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. Alright, movie experiences. What's your creature comforts? Oh, and tell me what your favorite movies are as your earliest memory. Or do you have an earliest memory of your favorite movie? Or not favorite movie. It doesn't have to be a good experience, I guess. But tell me, what do you think? So, what's your creature comforts? Do you have your favorite snacks? Do you have your favorite drinks? Do you have a cozy blanket or pillow? Or a stuffed animal? Or little baby that you cuddle with? Or do you have someone that you cuddle with? Family, friends? Do you cuddle up on the couch together? Or, cuddle on the floor with blankets and pillows? What do you do? Do you stay at home? Do you go to theaters? Do you go to a friend's house? What fun traditions do you have? For me, favorite snacks, and I'll just show one and I'll mention the other. Gardettos. Aged cheddar Gardettos are absolutely amazing. And then I like the garlic herb Chex Mix. Always amazing. When it comes to drinks, I mentioned the Vernors. Tea. I'm not a coffee person, but occasionally I might have a coffee. A smoothie, or just anything. Water, milk. I'm an equal opportunity offender with drinks. I don't really do alcoholic though, but I will occasionally have like a little something on a special occasion. But when it comes to just everyday, everyday movie watching or show watching, I don't do that. But I usually stick with Vernors or water or milk. I prefer being at home. I can be in my comfy clothes. I can watch the show without having to worry about judgment about how loud I'm crying during a sad scene, or how angry I get at a stupid character doing stupid things, or, those moments where you're like, why are you going through there? Don't do that. Go this way. Do this. Like, you don't have to worry about that judgment. You don't have to worry about laughing like a hyena and sounding so weird. You're at home. You're with friends. You're with family. You don't have to worry about random strangers going, well, what's wrong with that person over there laughing weird or crying? Most of the time if you're crying in a movie, others are too. So hopefully there's not too much judgment. But have fun with it. When I do go to theaters, it's a great fun experience, of course. One experience that I'd love to have that I've heard so many things about is going to the Sphere in Las Vegas and watching a show or movie that they have going on currently. I've heard so many fun things about doing that, and that is something I want to experience. If you've ever done that, please tell me, because I would love to hear your experience about it from start to finish, and just tell me if you loved it. I think it would be such a blast. But obviously, I live here in Michigan, and that's in Las Vegas, so it might take me a while to get all the way over there. But for those of you who have done it, please tell me your experiences. I want to know. And I hope that it was a great experience for you. Fun traditions, as I mentioned before, Young Frankenstein, the Christmas movies, that's an every year thing for us. We will sit down and we will watch those movies, and it's a great time. The Christmas movies, we always watch the evening of Thanksgiving, and we will set the tree up that next day at my parents' house. Our house here, I live with my grandmother, we set our tree up, probably just before Thanksgiving, because that way we can just go straight into my favorite season, and we don't have to worry about it, and then we just take it down after the first of the year. So, but at my parents, we set it up that night, or that next day after Thanksgiving, so that way it's ready to go. There's been some years where we haven't had the time, but that's okay. We still do the movie tradition, though. Always the movie tradition on Christmas, or for the Christmas movie season starting, the night of Thanksgiving, and then Halloween movies as soon as October 1st hits, or even the night before. Just depends. We will start watching Halloween movies. Recent years, we've kind of started watching them just all year round. If we need something, just make us happy. We love the Halloween Town movies. Those are probably some of our absolute favorites besides Young Frankenstein. There's just so many traditions that we have in my family when it comes to watching movies and when we watch them. Years we falter, like I said, but there's nothing wrong with that. So, as I mentioned before, just a little quick, jump backward. Cozy blankets, pillows. What are your favorite go-tos? I love the cooling blankets and this is a cooling body pillow behind me. I know you can kind of see it on both sides here, but those I love because when you get hot, you lay on this side. When you're not, you lay on this side. It keeps you cool, and then when you need to be warm, you can be warm. And I love it because I can just hold on to it in the corner of my bed watching on my TV on the wall. And it is such a great thing. And I have these so in case I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen next? Or this is getting so intense, oh my gosh. You can hold on to it. And I have a lot of stuffed animals, stuffies, whatever you want to call them. Cuddle buddies. I don't know. But it is always a go-to for me. Now, the last thing when it comes to Harry Potter movies, I will always have a wand with me. Now, if I'm traveling to like a friend's or a parent's or something, I might not necessarily take them every time. But I have several here. Ooh, I almost knocked stuff over. I have several. I'm going to just pick up one. And we will go with it. I'm going to knock stuff over. There we go. You get to deal with the chaos with that. This is Ron Weasley's wand, as you can see. I'm just going to show this one for now. I love the weight of this one because it's not super heavy, but it's not super light, and it's a decent length. You can see it's a decent length. I was up there. But, it's good wrist movements. I have other wands besides the ones I just showed you, but I didn't take them out of their protective covers. So these ones I don't have protective covers for yet. Some of them do, some of them don't, because I just haven't gotten them yet. It gets expensive after all trying to get all those. But I love this one. This is usually the one I go with, or I go with Ginny Weasley's, or Hermione Granger's. Favorite character is Hermione, and then second would have to be Ginny and Molly. So I love all the female characters in those movies. They're great. Bellatrix Lestrange, obviously. She's kind of a jerk. But her, as an actress, though, I'm nothing against the actress at all. But anyway, I digress on that. That is a whole other conversation for another day. So I wanted to show that. I wanted to say thank you again to Wish Milk for suggesting that I show those. I know I'm not showing them all, but that's okay. I think you can understand why I'm not showing them all, because I don't want to take up too much of your time. If you would like to see more of those more in detail, please let me know, and I can do a full show and tell on most things. But I'll leave that there. In closing, I want to thank you for coming and listening to me talk about movies. I could go into so much detail about movies and things I want to see, things I've seen, things I'm excited about coming out, which actually, let me quickly say that I'm excited for two things. So in the last podcast, I talked about Fourth Wing and Harry Potter. This Christmas, Harry Potter is releasing a very detailed series on HBO Max, redoing the series. It's going to be, I think, 8 or 9 episodes for the first book, but they're covering so much detail that the first original movies did not, and I'm so excited to see that. There will be a podcast episode covering those episodes. I don't know if I'll do them individually or on each episode, or if I will do them as one whole felled swoop and do a longer episode. So that I'm super excited for. And the second one I'm excited for, that's probably not going to come out for a couple of years yet, but is the Fourth Wing series. It's supposed to be on Amazon Prime from what I understand, but I'm so excited about seeing those books brought to life. I'm so excited for those. So keep your ears out for podcasts and updates on those, and I'm so excited. And the Harry Potter series is also going to cover each book. I think it's covered for 10 years, ? I think that's what they've agreed to right now. And I'm just super excited. But thank you again for listening, and enjoy a movie night. Let me know your rituals, your go-to comforts, your movies, your memories, your experiences. Just let me know. Talk to me. I want to hear your experiences too. Until next time, keep the kettle warm and your heart cozy. Bye.